What is going on, everybody?
Yo!
We are back from our hiatus.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Valley.
My name is Jonah Doc and I.
And this is
we're
Rip Rock Revolution. And apparently we are a Cannibal Corpse song today. Welcome, everybody, back to the show. We have a special one planned for you guys. Actually, that's a lie. We don't have anything planned for you guys. We're just going to roll with it.
We never
like
plan
usually do.
anything.
But why would we? We'd ruin the show, Jonah, if we did.
That is true.
What is going on, everybody? We're not going to try to meander and ramble too much. I know that's coming out of my mouth, but still. Jonah, we're back. The viewers, we know you've missed us.
Yes.
We are excited to let you know what we've been up to and kind of like where we're heading with the show because we're back. Our hiatus is over. We've decided we're done with this. So it wasn't planned.
We're all
either.
healthy.
We're all completely healthy now.
I don't remember what the last episode was, but I know within the past couple episodes, like Nick and I were both dying.
Yes, I do. I remember both of us being very sick. Probably last time. That was probably the episode, which we're going to give you guys a disclaimer. In between the time that you saw us last and now, we had one episode that we filmed that we never aired. Maybe we'll keep it in the vault for like if we decide to start like our Patreon or something. Maybe we'll like air that. It's only $99.99 a month, ladies and gentlemen.
Did we talk about like Guitar Gear in that episode? I think
something. We'll air it at some point, just randomly. It'll be funny and random because we'll have been on StreamYard. Oh yeah, guys, we're on a new platform.
Yeah, we're on a new platform. Look,
it only took us 1 minute and 56 seconds.
My screen is right there. I think I'm pointing to it.
Yeah, your screen is reversed, so like it looks like you're pointing at the time counter.
Oh,
but yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Your hand is on the eye of the duck. Welcome everybody to StreamYard. We wish Riverside all the best. They are no longer a fitting platform for us to film our show on, mostly because Jonah keeps getting booted from the server.
Yeah, and it doesn't even say like internet connection. It says like you can't connect to the server. It doesn't even say my internet's bad.
Jonah. It says fuck you, Jonah.
Yeah, it has two middle fingers up and it's like.
Yeah. So we've switched platforms and we're here now. So welcome. You're gonna have to get used to this. Maybe one day.
I actually kind of like the setup better. Because then it shows
we've been poking around. We can change different scenes and stuff, kind of like when you're streaming on like a platform like OBS. So maybe we'll do some screen sharing in an episode sometime. Oh God, this is gonna get really dangerous for us, Jonah.
It's gonna get really.
I'm looking at the counter. We got 27 minutes left. So everybody, we're gonna let you guys know what we've been up to, kind of like a little bit, like 5 minutes each, and then I guess we'll just kind of
go from there.
We'll go from there. Jonah, if you want to start, kind of let the viewers know what you've been up to, what you've been doing. It's been a while. You've been touring.
It has been a long time. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of craziness. In the past couple of weeks, I finally got a chance to like rest and recover because I don't know if y'all knew this, but I had bronchitis for a little bit, and then I healed, and then it came back a little bit before we went on tour. And then I had it through tour without knowing, and then came back and then had to like full on recover. And we had so many shows, but the tour was super fun. We started in LA, or we actually started at our hometown Mariposa the week before. And that was a really fun show. It's always fun to play to the home crowd. Then we went to LA and we played the show at Universal Bar and Grill, with our friends in Cutie. And then there's like 10 bands on that bill and everyone was freaking kick ass. Met so many cool people, and we also celebrated the promoter's daughter's 18th birthday during our set. So like there's like a birthday party going on at the same time. So everybody it was like hella packed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was super fun. And then the show and then we started we played for our first time in Arizona for our next show. Oh wait, actually I'm gonna rewind a little bit. So that was a Saturday that we played. Exactly. Saturday we played at Universal Bar and Grill. Then Sunday was Easter, and what we did was we explored LA a little bit, and then I picked up a brand new guitar. Yeah, I
think we both did.
Oh, did you get?
Do you have the guitar?
I don't have the guitar on me right now, but I could run down in a little bit and grab it because it's in my bedroom right now.
That
But
works. Yeah.
it's a beautiful, like, it's a Charvel DK Pro 24.
Nice.
Plays
I've
like a
seen it. That's the black
dream.
one, right?
Yeah, it's black and has gold hardware, and
Oh my
I
god.
freaking love it. Because I've been looking for a guitar with 24 frets and that had a
Yeah, yeah.
maple neck and had all like, and it had a Floyd Rose. There's so many specs I was looking for, and that matched perfectly. Um, like
Oh
I could
yeah.
go on talking about specs forever, but like I'll bring up the guitar later on, closer to the end of the episode, and
And I'll take out
yeah.
my new guitar too.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
have a
we'll
little show off
showcase
contest.
guitars, because both Nick
Yes.
and I could go on for a long time about gear. I know we've done that a couple
About gear.
episodes.
I think that was the episode we didn't air. Which, by
Yeah,
the
I
way,
think so.
guys, like I said, if you want to, let us know in the comments if you want a Patreon. We're gonna
Yeah.
start rates at $100 a month. So let us.
If this episode gets 1,000 likes,
Dude, what you got to be careful what you say because we're gonna loosely start to throw that around, and then one day we're gonna say the most outrageous thing, like we're gonna jump off a bridge with bungee cords if this video gets, and then that video will get 1,000 likes, and we'll have to fucking do it. So, yeah,
dude, that'd be fun though. Jumping up a bridge with bungee cords sounds like
I
so
knew
much
you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. So Jonah, how was touring with bronchitis?
Touring with bronchitis was one of the worst things ever. But what
Yeah.
made it fun was like
Was touring?
I was so surprised. So this was technically our first actual tour. We had like a mini tour planned before, but that like it was like very little planning, and kind of just the shows like came like were like they weren't planned as a tour. They were like planned, and then they ended up all lining up. So it was like really bad.
Yeah.
But this, like, the planning, I was surprised it went so well. There was only two things that went wrong with the tour, and the first one was bronchitis, which I couldn't really do going into it.
So there were only two things wrong with the tour. The first one was I got bronchitis.
Yeah,
The way you naturally just said that like it was nothing. It's just two little minor, tiny little things.
Yeah. It's
So,
like,
by the way, I'm the singer, so it's not that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. I freaking sounded terrible every night. I sounded like a 60-year-old smoker. Like, I sounded like
half the rock stars that should have retired already.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just end it there. I know who you were gonna say.
I was gonna say names.
Let's just cut it off, Jonah.
But it was hella fun. So when we got to Arizona, our friends in the band Zenora hopped on, and if you guys haven't listened to Zenora, they are some of the coolest, grooviest motherfuckers out there. They're actually one of my favorite bands, and it was a treat to listen to them play every single night. That's why we asked them to come on the tour, because we were coming out to Arizona, and we've been trying to put something together for the last couple of years. But we played with them on the Monday in Tucson, which is their hometown. All the bands that they brought were hella cool. Yeah, that was a really fun lineup, and we all got like food afterwards. There wasn't very many people there, so it's just like all the bands messing around in the crowd.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Have you ever had one of those shows? There's like not a ton of people there, but the band, like the vibe of all the bands.
Yeah,
connecting.
I've done that. I've done that.
Yeah.
It's
just doing
that was
stuff.
That was very early on in this show. I think I had a gig like that, and that was when Chase, who ended up doing a gig with one of my bands, Chase Philandro, who we still need to get as a guest on this show. We're gonna make it happen. But anyways, he's Mr. Social media star now. He's an influencer now. We'll get him on the show. Anyways, I really loved that show because it was just all the bands in the audience supporting. And that was the one where he yelled at "Have My Kids," and that was the first time I ever heard or met Chase Philandro. So that could tell you a lot about when we get him on this show. But
those are always some of the most fun gigs. And that was kind of this whole tour, since Zenora was on like the next two shows after, like all our Arizona dates, because we did Phoenix, and then we played, and the Phoenix show was really funny because we had no idea what the venue was, but we go in, and it's like this music studio inside like a storage garage. There's like a stage set up in the corner, but it has like they have like a camera and then a projector above, so it's like
Okay.
so the like you could see the whole show going on, and it's one of those like small places where like if there's like 30 people in there, it looks packed.
Yeah, I've
So
done those. I've done plenty of those.
yeah,
Yes.
and it was like hella hot in there, but so much fun.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're describing. Exactly what you're describing. There's a certain venue I only play. I play once a year now out here on Long Island when I do the circuit. And this certain venue I will only play in December because it's way too. There's no air conditioning and it's way too hot and it's way too small to play there in the summer.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
because it gets hot in there. They just leave the doors open in December and it's perfect.
Oh, that's nice, dude. I wish it was like that for this venue. Do not play in small warehouses in the summer or late spring because you will start dying.
Yes, especially if you have bronchitis.
Yeah, especially if you have bronchitis, because then instead of just having bronchitis, you have bronchitis and you're dehydrated.
Wonderful.
I've learned so much about vocal health and what not to do.
I learned that the hard way. I one time performed. Did I ever tell you this story? We're gonna go off on a tangent here because I have to tell this story right now.
Go ahead.
I apologize, Joan. I don't mean. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce, one of the best videos of all time. Anyways, moving on from that. I performed with this theater group maybe back in 2019, and we did a Steve. Do you know who Steven Schwartz is at all?
I've heard the name. I probably would recognize
he's a musical theater writer. So he wrote the music for Wicked, Godspell, Pippin. The list goes on and on and on. The guy's a theater genius. Anyways, so we did a tribute to Steven Schwartz at Disney World, at downtown Disney, which is like their shopping center area. Oh my God, this is terrible. I had to sing a song. You're probably not familiar with it, but you should listen to it afterwards so you know what I mean. Anyone doesn't know it, maybe pause the episode and listen to the song and then listen to the rest of the story. I'm going to give you time. All right, welcome back. Let's finish the story. So, that being said, that was flawless, by the way, Jonah.
That was perfect.
I'm crying right now. I went on stage, and you can laugh about these things now. Like you're laughing about the tour now. You probably weren't at the time.
Oh yeah,
I'm laughing now about it. Anyways, so I'm on stage, and I have to sing this song. It's called "Corner of the Sky" from the musical Pippin. And at the end, there's this. You're familiar with this. The high note at the end, this really high C, and then I had to hit a harmony of a falsetto of a G above it for the fifth. And I did it in rehearsals over and over again the whole week leading up to it. No problem, right? We get there. Florida's very humid, so my vocals was dry. My dumb ass decides to drink coffee that morning without any water.
No.
I get on stage at Disney World on stage, and it's time for me to hit my high note, and I go, "Of the sky."
Oh, no.
It was worse than that because it broke up. It was like sky, but not that. It was like fucking like It sounded like that guy Stephen Thoen on American Idol when he sings Bohemian Rhapsody, the redhead guy. Have you seen that?
I think you showed me that video, but dude, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment from listening to the story because that was like half the tour. But I could kind of get away with it with some of the Jinx songs because it makes it look like I'm trying to scream.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that just reminded me of that. So I've been there, done that. That was that was one of the worst stages to have to do that on. Luckily, it was downtown Disney, which was like the shopping center, like a separate area in Disney, and it was like 10 in the morning, so like no one was there.
Oh, there wasn't a ton of people. Yeah.
So, but still, you know.
For those of you in the audience who do not sing, being a vocalist is really, really hard. This is why I didn't want to be a vocalist at the very beginning of Jinx. But also being a vocalist is really, really fun because then you have a mic and you get to talk and you get to do whatever you want.
You get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't give any lead singer that idea, Jonah, please.
Yeah,
we don't need to promote that. Lead singer. We do not. Rev Rock Revolution does not support lead singer's disease, okay?
Yeah.
We're just putting that out there right now. That's a real thing. That is a real thing.
It really
I try to avoid it.
All your favorite bands, look at the lead singer, see what happened to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and the better the band is, usually the worse the singer's disease is.
Mm-hmm.
Like Van Halen, Roth, forget about it. That's some of the worst lead singer's diseases on the planet.
Guns N' Roses,
some of the worst singer's disease on the planet. The list goes on and on. You get the idea. The best is always when the singer is not the one with the lead singer's disease. That's always the best. Like Metallica.
Yeah.
Like Lars has lead singer's disease.
Yeah. But he's also like the brains behind everything. So
true.
Maybe it's not lead singer disease. Maybe it's the brains, like the person who has the brains.
It's probably just the ego of the person. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's when you have to run a band. I've been there a little bit too, so I can empathize with it a little bit. When you have to run a band and be the face and do all the interviews and book all the shows and promote all the events and run the rehearsals and come up with the set list and write all the songs, eventually that wears you thin and you just have a fucking enough. And you're like, you guys should fucking appreciate me for what I do, and I'm done with this. So I understand getting to that point. Now, there's a certain point when there's a difference between knowing who you are. There's a difference between knowing who you are and thinking who you are. Even if you're great, there's still a difference between that. I literally just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. Some people know who they are, and some people think who they are, and some people know and think who they are. The people who know and think who they are the most dangerous because they actually are that good, but they rub it in everyone else's faces. Example, Sting. Sting is a great example of that. Prince is a great example of that.
Yeah, and you can't argue with them because
you can't argue
they're
with
like
them.
the best.
because they're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have the ego to match their, like they have the skill to back up their ego.
Exactly. But yeah, man, that tour it's been like you've been traveling and going around and stuff. How are we getting any new music from you anytime soon?
Hopefully soon. I'm back into the writing grind, working on some lyrics, working on some tunes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been missing writing. So on tour we did debut a new song and we played it throughout the whole tour, which was really fun.
That's fun.
We still need to record it, but it's one of our favorite songs, and it's also the shortest Jinx song ever. It's like 2.5 minutes.
Gotta love that. Love that. That's streaming. Those streaming metrics.
Yeah, we're getting the release plan ready. We're getting things recorded. That's X and I's summer goal to finish up the second Jinx album. So then
I have been waiting for this album
releasing.
For fucking it's too long, Jonah.
Yeah. Dude, I've been waiting for this album too.
Does your fan? I think I've meant to ask you this, but I've never. Maybe I'm just stupid and I missed it. Do you guys have a fan base name, like a fan, like?
No, we don't. We need a fan base name. I usually just go, "Hey, Jinx fans."
Okay, so as a Jinx fan,
that's lame.
I will say we've been waiting for this record for too long. We are starving. Please feed us.
Yes, we will have new music soon, at the latest, like early fall, but I'm hoping like late summer. But. Yeah, we're kind of chilling out.
1,000 likes.
If this video gets like 2 likes, we're dropping music this year.
No one likes the video, Jonah. Imagine.
Damn, dude,
we can count on at least one. We can count on at least one.
Yeah, we can count on at least one. Dude, and if we like it too, we'll get 3 likes.
That's it. We get 3 likes.
There we go.
That's good.
Guys, we're getting new Jinx music this year. Hope you guys are excited.
Yes,
and if you're not too bad, you're going to listen to it anyway.
Yes. I know none of you are looking forward to what I'm doing. You'll probably get something from me at some point.
We need more Nick Valley music.
Dude, well, we'll see about that.
We need more Rev Rock Revolution music.
Just in general. Rev Rock in general. I mean, the new Mammoth song.
Dude, the new Mammoth song's freaking insane.
What the fuck?
I've been trying to figure out that verse thing that he does.
That tapping thing? Oh my god.
I learned that that's my weakness. Doing like the slapping stuff, because that is not exactly like neon, but like I've been trying to
Yeah.
learn something similar to Neon, or it's one of Zenora's songs actually, because there's this
Okay.
song called Only One Sun. They kind of retired it for a
Okay.
little bit, but they brought it back on the last show that we played with them in
Okay.
Flagstaff, because that's my favorite song of theirs. But the
Got it.
intro, it does kind of like a Neon type thing, and I was trying to. He taught it. The guitarist Adrian taught it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck, bro? How do you play that up to speed?" Because the song's like 180.
Oh God.
It's like,
Oh my
yeah.
God. That's
Give the
wild.
tune a listen. That is freaking a crazy beast.
You guys
But,
got to check him out. We'll have to get him on the
yeah.
show at some point. That's happening.
I just remembered a funny tour story that I have to tell, and then I'll let you talk about, because I realize it's 20 minutes in and we've mostly been talking about me.
You do realize this is a nice, Jonah. You do realize this is a nice change of pace to our normal programming, right?
Yeah, we're flip flopping.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So the floor is all yours, man. If I say two things today, I'm cool with it.
So after our Tucson, or not Tucson, after our Flagstaff show, we had to get to the airport in Las Vegas, because we were supposed to play a Vegas show the day after, but then like we had like a family event got scheduled that we couldn't miss, so we had to get to Vegas, fly to the Bay Area, attend the event the next day, and then go to Fresno the day after to finish up our tour. But so we leave the venue. We get out earlier than we thought, because one of the bands had to drop, and so we're cruising. We're making good time. Our flight's like at 6. No, it's like at 6 in the morning, right? We're driving there. It's like a 3.5 hour drive. We're making good time. We're like, oh, we're gonna have 2 hours of time just to sit in the. Are you
watching my mic just slowly fall here?
Yeah, dude, it's. You can't escape it. The mic always has problems.
All of my mic stands are broken.
You need a ton of duct tape.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's gonna look so fucking like.
I'm waiting for it to fall.
It's gonna
even
look so
more.
White trash, but okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Come on.
So
I want to hear this story. So your flight's at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We're making good time. We're gonna get there at like 4. We're driving down. We're like 45 minutes from Vegas, and then lights start flashing on the dashboard. We're in a rental car, by the way. This isn't our own car. So we're driving down. It starts flat. We're in the middle of nowhere. The last exit was 15 miles behind us. The nearest exit in front of us is like 15 miles. So we're like smack dab in the middle of nowhere. So we pull over. The tire like has no pressure in it. It went from we see on the dashboard, it goes from like 40 to 0 in like the span of 2 seconds. So we were pulled over and we're like, shit, what do we gotta do? We gotta go to the airport. So we're calling AAA and calling Enterprise, because they also have a roadside service, and we're trying to figure out how we're gonna get out. And I think Enterprise was saying that we could that they'll send out a tow truck, and we could probably just ride in the car while they tow us somewhere. And we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna miss the flight, because we couldn't get Uber out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we're waiting. They said it's gonna take 60 to 90 minutes. We're waiting there, and like 60 minutes pass by, and no sign of anything. Like 75 minutes pass by, we get a notification that the tow truck came. There's no tow truck in sight. So we call up AAA, and we're like,
oh God, did they go to the wrong area?
Yeah. No, we call it, and they're like, they couldn't find you guys, so they just left. And we're like, what do you mean? We're the only car out here in the middle of nowhere. So they're like, we'll send out another tow truck for you guys. So they send another one out. They said it's going to take the same amount of time, like an hour to 2 hours. And we're like, what the fuck? And so my mom calls up the airport.
People annoy me so. I have to say, people annoy me so much. Dude, they really do.
Dealing with roadside services is one of the worst things ever.
Jonah, dealing with anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's scary. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like you need help, and people are like, fuck you, you're on your own.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That is true. See, this story, y'all.
That's your job.
Yeah. this story, it shows the worst of humanity and the best of humanity. You'll see
Okay.
it a little bit.
Okay.
So we call it. We're able to postpone the flight to like a later flight that's an hour later. So and we'll still make the event. But so we're waiting, another hour passes by. We're still not getting the tow truck. Then we see lights come up behind us, and this truck pulls up. We think it's the tow truck, and we're like, "Oh, thank God, finally!" And we go out of the car. We're like, "Hey, are you the tow truck?" And he's like, "No, but I saw you like a little bit ago. I passed by, and we wanted to just check if you're okay." And we're like, "No, we have a flat tire, man." And he's like, "Well, I have a roadside tire repair uh, company," and he saw us on the way going down to fix another person's tire, like 30 minutes down. And then when he passed by coming back, he saw that we were still there like 2 hours later. So he came back to stop and then saw us. So he was like, "You know what? I'll help these guys out." So he comes and then he looks at the tire. He's like, "Yeah, I could fix that." And we're like, "How long will it take?" He's like, "It will take like 5 minutes." So he's like, "Is the tow truck driver coming?" He was like, "We're supposed to get a tow truck driver, but there's like we haven't heard anything." And he sits there, thinks about it for a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, I'll just patch it up right now." Then gives us his like a discounted fee, and he's like, "You could just give this to the rental company and they'll refund you." So fixes it up.
Okay.
And this is actually the best case scenario, because if we were to get taken by the tow truck, we would have been brought to some random location. My mom, Xavier, and I would have to Uber it to somewhere else. My dad would be left with all the gear, have to transfer that into another car, and that would have been just a whole hassle. But he fixes up the tire. Everything's all set to go. We're like, "What?" We're like, "What's your name? Thank you so much." And guess what this dude's name was? What is Jesus. We got saved by freaking Jesus on tour.
You got saved by Jesus. That is, oh my God, dude, that's the name of this episode. How Jesus saved my tour.
Jinx.
They're gonna think that we're fucking trying, like, starting a cult and trying to convert people to Christianity.
It was so funny. My mom posted on Facebook. She was like, "We were saved by Jesus." So many people in the comment sections were like, "Jesus is our savior. We love Jesus. We love God." Like, I don't have anything against religion, but my family isn't very, very religious. But it was just super funny. Like, all these super religious people that follow my mom on Facebook were like, "We love God. He is our savior." It's like,
oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so we have a couple minutes left. I just want to share one story, and then we're gonna be on our way.
What have you been up to, Nick, in 3
Jonah,
minutes?
next week we're gonna share the new guitars, and we will get back to our normal topic of choice rant kind of thing. But I want to share what I've been up to. This is everything I've been up to in under 2 minutes, like one of those videos. So everybody, I've been around. Out of Exile has our first show of the summer this Friday. I'm really excited. We have a loaded set list. It's going to be awesome. It's at Farrell's in West
very loaded.
By the time that this episode airs, it will have happened. It'll be Monday. But I'm very excited about that. This is Wednesday at the time before Friday that we're filming this. I just performed at the Talk House, the Stephen Talk House. If you don't know, it's out in the Hamptons, Amagansett. It's a very popular venue. Paul McCartney lives down the block. He hangs out there regularly. It's really cool. It was a great time. I got to perform with this acoustic band. We did a lot of covers of it was almost like MTV Unplugged kind of style show. We did like Doors stuff and Aerosmith stuff. It was awesome. But I was like a featured artist for that. We did that. My Police tribute band has been booking like crazy. We're going to be loaded, going around all over. We're going to be all over Long Island. If you want to know dates, you can check out our page, Demolition Band, The Police and Sing Experience. We have a link in our bio, which has all of our upcoming dates. You can join our mailing list where we keep you updated on that kind of stuff. Our socials we're going to be posting. But we have a ton of shows planned and coming up, so we're really excited about that. I'm growing out my hair, so that's why we have this hat here. I'll show some reference images in our next episode. I've been teaching a lot of lessons. I've been having a lot of fun. I feel like I've been really learning and growing from doing that, and this is the last story I'm going to share from that. So here's a little story before we end the episode. I was teaching a lesson yesterday, and I was teaching a lesson to a drummer, and off the top of my head, he asked me randomly, I never thought I'd get this question, but he looks at me and he goes, "Why do you think drums are special?" And I was like, "What'd you just ask me?" And I'm like, "Okay." How am I supposed? He's an 8-year-old kid, right? So I said, you want to know why drums are special? And this is what I said. A band is like being in a car. We're keeping with the theme of driving today, right? So there's 4 seats, and you have 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And the drummer, guess what? He's driving the car. His foot is on the pedal, on the brake. He decides how fast you're going, how sharp that turn is, if you're making a left or a right, right? He's the one in control of the steering wheel. The singer's sitting next to you. He's giving directions. He's got the GPS up. He's deciding where you're going. He's saying we should make a left. We should make a right. We should go down this block. We're going to get there 5 minutes quicker, right? The bass player, he's right behind you. He's locked into your every move. If you're leaning forward, he's leaning forward. He's watching what you're doing. He's in full support of you. That's your best friend. I said, and that guitar player sitting next to you, tell him to shut the hell up. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. That is so true.
So I'm going to end the episode with that. I was
think
very proud of myself.
That's such a funny story considering we're both vocalists and guitarists, and we both agree with that story.
Oh, we do. As guitarists, we can both say that guitar players are the worst. And that's it. We're allowed to say, and I told the drummer, I said, I'm a guitar player, so I'm allowed to say that. Anyways, it's very accurate. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode, for
thank you.
caring
We are
about
back.
the fact that we're back. We're very excited, and we'll see you next week. So until next time, my name is Nick Valley.
My name is Jonah Doc, and
this is
we're
Rev Rock Revolution!